Thank you for being here for our Trans Day of Visibility press conference. My name is Park Cannon. I'm proud to be a state representative here in Atlanta with some of my colleagues as well. Days like today fill me with many emotions, but today I want to focus on one emotion, and that is pride. As we have reached our first anniversary of Trans Day of Visibility, which is celebrated on March 31st here in the state of Georgia, we remember that we as non-trans identified individuals have an obligation to continue our efforts and support of those who happen to identify as transgender. As we know, Georgia's transgender population is the fourth highest in the country. The LGBTQ Institute at the Center for Civil and Human Rights here in Atlanta, in partnership with the Georgia State University, have reported on the education, health, community involvement, employment, and experiences of discrimination for transgender Southerners. We know that 34.1% of us are members of a state LGBTQ advocacy organization. Yet there is no law that prohibits discrimination against sexual orientation or gender identity. 46.8% of us report being subjected to slurs. 35.7% have experienced being rejected by family members, and 20.4% noted feeling unwelcome at a place of worship. We know that this goes into the public sector as well, as 24.6% noted receiving poor service in restaurants, hotels, and other places of business. So, in knowing that 1 in 4 LGBTQ employees report experiencing employment discrimination in the last 5 years, and that 27% of transgender people who either held or applied for a job in the past year report being fired, not hired, denied a promotion, or otherwise due to their gender identity, we still have to rise. We are here to be visible and to show that trans lives truly do matter. Today, I am joined by Tori Cooper and Mr. Washington. Tori is a member of the LGBTQ Advisory Board for Mayor Bottoms, and Mr. Washington is the founder of a growing company who uses his platform in the media in assistance to bring awareness to those within the trans and gender nonconforming community. They will both inform us of how we, as non-trans identified individuals, can be better allies and how Georgians can focus on inclusion and unity. Tori?
Good morning, and thank you so much, Representative Cannon, for inviting me today and inviting all of us. It is indeed an honor to speak on behalf of the Transgender Day of Visibility. I didn't prepare a speech because I don't need one. I am a Black transgender woman. My experience walking these streets, riding the subway, driving the highways, navigating through life, is that of many of my other trans sisters and brothers. I think of the word respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. When I think of respect, I think of visibility. Visibility and respect go hand in hand. It means that transgender people, regardless of our gender identity or gender presentation, that we feel safe and secure navigating through the streets of Atlanta and anywhere else that we are. It feels that we're respected on our jobs. It feels that we're respected in interviews. It makes us feel safe and secure in relationships. That's family relationships, romantic relationships, and friendly relationships. Safety is really, really important to us. So on Transgender Day of Visibility, I want to make sure that you encourage yourself and everyone that you know to respect trans people. That's super, super important. Visibility means that we have access to the same things that everyone else has, regardless as to our gender identity or our presentation. It means that as trans women, we're not looked at as freaks. We're not looked at as crazy or really, really gay, that you understand that we are women and women first. So I'd like to thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Respect trans women. respect trans men. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for those poignant words about pride and visibility, how deserving and worthy all trans people are of love and respect. Now we'll hear from Mr. Washington on his remarks about how we can be better allies to trans Georgians.
Hello, my name is Fabian Washington, and for Trans Day of Visibility, it's a lot that goes hand in hand with that, and there are specific things that I would like to cover. So, excuse me. Today, I'm here in celebration of the transgender community. I'm here with you in acknowledgement, respect, and empowerment of a people, a community of unique individuality that has contributed to our nation, our society, and the greater good of our inner city communities. My name is Fabian Washington, and I'm a transgender man. I am proud of my journey, and I am proud of what I am becoming in my authentic self. I am proud to be here representing this great community in which I am a part of, that I have made it to this day to say this: yes, it is true. You can be yourself and you can live in your truth. I appreciate the writing and the inspirational posts on social media or recording transitions, but it is about actively educating one another so that we can understand each other in our individuality. The things that we can accomplish are much greater in this way, exercising unity through communication. I'm here in remembrance of the trans and gender nonconforming people whose lives were wrongfully taken from this earth at an untimely manner. It is more than an act of bravery to openly be yourself in a world that is so judgmental, lacking understanding and compassion for someone so different. Can you imagine waking up every morning with the first thought through your mind being, will I make it through the day? Could you feel the heartbeat of Jamie Lee or Candace as they walked out of their front door every morning, just living their lives and working to survive where safety had been a constant concern? Trans lives matter. Trans women's lives matter, and they deserve to live and enjoy life just as much as the next person. The average life expectancy of a trans woman in the POC community is 35. At the age of 35, we are settling into becoming established. This should not have to be a goal made to live past due to the stigma enforced by violence within our communities. I pray every night that you all are safe wherever you are. I pray for all of my sisters. What people don't seem to understand, being trans is not a choice. For some of us, it can mean life or death. By all means necessary. No matter what, becoming one's authentic self is never an option for anyone. Just that for some it is at a greater measure and the steps that must be taken, and you can't put a price on that. I'm here to create awareness in the unfair treatment that our community faces within the judicial system of the state of Georgia, and the cycle of incarceration that has been created through neglect of care upon release from incarceration. Reentry support for those that have served time in prison is an essential tool to aid our community in helping them successfully reenter into society and become stable in the economy, so that they can become progressive into transition into society and get back to their lives happily. Homelessness is a huge problem in the trans and gender nonconforming, non-binary community, and often These crimes may be just based off of survival. Transcending barriers offers the support, and it does make a difference. Our mission is to break this cycle and uplift our community through unity. I am here to stand up for the community, shed light on the issues of the community, and raise awareness on that our families, our friends, and our neighbors can understand one simple fact, and that is we are all human beings. We all are beautifully made, and that each of our unique journeys has something to contribute to the greater good in building up our communities.
Thank you very much for joining our press conference today. If there are any questions, we'll take those at this time.
What do you want to see in terms of policy making?
Well, we know that starting by getting a holiday on the books would be a great idea. We tried to do that last year by resolution, but we're not granted the ability to do so by leadership. And so we'll continue to hope that we can start by getting Trans Day of Visibility a state holiday.
And in terms of some of the comments we just heard about increased incarceration, homelessness, some of the additional problems that trans folks, particularly trans folks of color, face, how would you like to see the state address those?
There's a bill right now on hate crimes, and we hope that that bill will continue to pass through the Senate so that we can continue to support all people who are living in Georgia who face hate crimes, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
And this is to all the legislators. I'm curious what kind of comments you hear about trans folks, if you hear anything at all.
Well, I would say, to your point, to the second part of what you said about if you hear anything at all, I think that's probably the biggest issue is that trans folks are invisible at the Capitol, and the LGBTQ community in general is invisible at the Capitol when it comes to talking about the impact of certain policies on our communities. So I think that that's one of the biggest issues. It's really difficult to get the LGBTQ community directly included in resolutions, as well as organizing around our issues in the structural ways that we need to. And those hurdles are not coming from within our community, it's coming from leadership. So I think that that's really the difficulty, is proving that, always having to prove that we should be aware of the impact of policies on the LGBTQ community and having folks take that seriously.
And how has it been hearing some of the comments about folks, for anyone who's been listening, on the hate crimes bill, and a lot of folks who question whether or not hate crimes really happen?
We know that hate crimes happen. We know that the violence against trans people and people of different sexual orientations is something that legislation can address. So we do hope that the bill will pass this session. Thank you so much for your time today. Have a great day.